Hello everyone, Julie here with Paisleys and Polka Dots, and in this video I am going to show you how to paint one of our Faux Shiplap signs. So this is the finished product that you see here. This is what it's going to look like. You can paint it any color that you want. I decided on the colors that you see here. So you're going to need acrylic paint. This is Oyster White by Delta, Burlap by Americana, and Coffee Bean. So and that's the colors that I painted on this sign here. So I am actually going to show you how to kind of get this look on the back here. So this is the way the product comes, just like this, and it's actually two separate pieces. So it makes it really easy to put this together because everything is kind of all in one place already. You know, you don't have multiple pieces, and then you have the little detail pieces here. This outer piece you won't be using, but you're going to be using it for a template to put everything on your actual piece. So the products I use are the acrylic paint. You're also going to need a fine piece of fine grit sandpaper. This is a regular everyday makeup sponge, a little used, but it's still a makeup sponge. You're going to want a tool that is a pointed tool, like a poker, well, I don't know what this is called actually, but a pointed tool or a regular toothpick will work as well. So, and then also I like to use these two different size paint brushes. You can use a foam brush too, but they're a little bit more difficult to work with. So these are the two brushes that I like to use, and then some wood glue for gluing your piece together, and a bucket of water, a paper towel for washing out your brushes, and a palette for your paint. So let's get started on the project here. I'm going to set this one aside. I'm not going to paint the frame just for time saving purposes, but I did put one coat of paint onto this frame here and then sanded it afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with these, with my little pieces here. Now you can do a few ways of painting it. So put a little bit of paint out on your palette here, and then you can either take a small brush like this and dip it into the paint ever so slightly. You don't want to have a lot of paint on your brush because you don't want to get it down into the cracks and crevices. You want it to kind of stay on the top, and then you can just kind of paint your letters just like so. Like that. Okay, now you're going to want to paint two coats of paint on. You can let it dry in between, and you can kind of hold it down a little bit if you need to. Okay, and then so that's the way of doing it with a brush. You can also use the makeup sponge, and let me finish this one here. And if it does get, like I got it a little bit right in there, you can kind of just dab your brush in there and get it off. Okay, so I'm going to clean this brush out. Wipe it on the paper towel to get out. You don't want to have any water in your brush, so you definitely want to make sure there's no water in it. Dry it off on your paper towel real good. But the other way of doing this is you can dab a makeup sponge into your paint and then kind of dab it out onto your palette a little bit so you don't have a whole lot of paint on your sponge, and then you can dab the sponge onto your wood piece. And this tends to coat really, really well and get good coverage pretty quickly without having a lot of paint seep down into the sides of the wood. See how quickly that went on that piece? So I'm going to do the letters here. Like I said, you might have to hold them down just a little bit, but it makes it easier to use the template to keep everything in place rather than hold the pieces in your hand. But you can do it that way too. It's up to you. I just find this works best for me. Now, in between coats, you can take a heat, if you have a heat gun or anything and you want to make it quicker. A lot of times I'll do that for time-saving purposes because I'm impatient and don't like to wait too long. So I'm going to get my heat tool here and I'll just dry this coat of paint real quick. See how fast that dries? So now I'm going to put a second coat on, And if you need to, you can put a third coat of paint on if you find that the coverage wasn't enough with just the 2 coats of paint. You can also paint your pumpkin orange if you want, and paint the leaves a green color. Get as creative as you want to get. But for this, just wanted to make it a quick and easy project. So I'm painting mine just the one color brown. And then after you get this done, you're going to want to make sure that you take out the little pieces, because if you did get any on the sides of the wood, it might tend to stick. So we're going to take out these little pieces. I need a little bit more paint here. So I just keep dabbing off my paint onto the palette here, so I don't have too much paint on my sponge. And you can wash these sponges out, use them over and over again. I've used this one quite a bit. Okay, there we go. I'm going to set that aside. Actually, I'm going to throw it into my water bucket so it doesn't dry in there. Okay, so as I said, you're going to want to take these out. Some of them just fell out right away, but like my G is kind of stuck in there a little bit. So I'm going to want to pop that out just so that it doesn't dry and stick inside of this template here. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside for right now. Okay, and then I'm going to pull in my base piece. Like I said, the frame, you can paint a solid color as well and then sand it afterwards. The same way I'm going to do this. Now you're going to want to paint the sides of this base piece the same color as your frame, because when you put them together, you're going to want all of this to be the same color. Okay, so as far as the base goes, I'm going to use my oyster white. I'm going to pour some out on the palette here. You're going to need a good amount, so give yourself a good little puddle. Okay, and then you're going to take your brush and you're going to paint onto your wood. You can paint some small strokes, but you're going to want to paint in the same direction. You're not going to want to paint this way and that way. You're going to want to keep your paint going in one direction, vertically. I guess that makes more sense. Okay, and then once you have all the small strokes done, then you can go back and give it some nice long strokes across there. Make sure you fill in those little gaps. I got a little bit on the side, so just clean up your sides as you go. Okay, see how I have the small strokes, and now I'm going to put in some long strokes like this. And I'm pretty much just kind of slapping the paint on, making it really quick. This sign is actually 5 by 5 inches. So it's not too big it's a nice size to work with quickly here. Put in some nice long strokes so it makes your paint nice and even. Okay, and now it's pretty much all covered. Clean up my brush here again. My bucket actually has some ridges on the bottom to clean my brushes nice. So I rub it on there, and then, like I said, get all the water out of your brush. Okay, and then set that aside. Okay, so to make this dry quicker, I think I'm going to go ahead and heat tool it again. Oh, wait, forgot a step. Almost. So now that you have this all painted, you're going to want to take your Q-tip, not your Q-tip, I don't know why I keep calling this Q-tip, your toothpick or your piercing tool here, and you're going to want to run it into the cracks of your sign. And it will get a little bit of paint on there. Just wipe it off each time you run it through the crack. You can run it through a few times while your paint is still wet. Okay, you want to do this while it's wet. Like I said, if you have your piercing tool, you can also use that. That works well too. And you can see little bits of paint that has come off. You can kind of just lightly rub them off. And it's kind of got a little bit of some brownish coloring around that, and that's from the laser, because these are all laser cut, and it doesn't matter. You're going to sand it off, and it kind of brings out the natural wood look part of it. So I just leave it like that. And there we go. It's all nice and dry. And one thing about acrylic paint is it does dry pretty quickly, so that makes it kind of nice. Okay, so now take your fine sandpaper, and then you're just going to sand over the top of this. Sand away the paint. And when you sand away the paint, it kind of makes like a little bit of a wood grain effect. And I am pressing pretty hard on here. In fact, I'm pressing quite hard. So the more you sand, the more distressed you're going to get it. So it just depends upon the look that you want and what you're trying to achieve and go for. So let me wipe that off a little bit. Clean up my space here, because I don't want to get, once I start gluing and stuff, I don't want these paint to get onto the other pieces. So, and then once you have it all sanded, go ahead and go through these slots again, the little grooves, to get all the particles that when you sanded went into the groove. So you're going to want to run your tool or your toothpick back through those grooves to clean them out. Okay? There we go. So there is my faux shiplap background here. And it looks like when I was painting, I possibly got some on my little E here, or maybe it's just dust because I just brushed it off. Okay, so to do to put the pieces back on, we are gonna put this on, okay, and then put your piece like so. You're gonna line it all up, and you can glue the border on, but I found it a little difficult to, if you don't have a piercing tool, I found it really difficult to get my toothpick in that crevice. But if you have a piercing tool like this, you can actually pull this right in and out. But if you don't, then I would recommend you get your placement and go ahead and put your gobble letters and your pieces in the hole, back in the holes. Fit everything back in. Like so. Okay, and then take your frame off. So now we have the placement where we want to put everything, and you can tape it down if you are afraid it might move on you or something. I'm just gonna leave it as is, and I'm gonna pull these letters up. You're gonna use some wood glue to glue these letters down. So I'm gonna actually pour a little bit of my wood glue onto my palette here, my paint palette. And I'm going to use this smaller brush. And I don't actually pour the glue onto my piece because it gets too much glue on it. So I'm actually going to take this small brush and I'm going to brush a little bit of glue all the way around my letters here. Okay, and then you're going to fit them back into your template and push down. You could actually leave all of these out. I don't know why I put them all in, because I really didn't need them in there until I actually glued all the pieces in. And it's okay if you don't have it in every tiny little spot on there. Pull this one up. See, I think it would have been easier had I've left those out. So, and then just put them in as I painted the glue on and then attached them. Don't forget the G here. See, I'm having to pick these back out now. Okay, come on. There we go. And I'm trying to do this really quickly so that I'm not taking up too much time showing you guys how to do this. Let's see, I did both B's. Now the L. Definitely leave these little letters out and then put them back in as you need them. Let me pull this one out too. Okay, and so for this one's pretty tedious. So just kind of dab the top. The glue dries clear, so like I said, it's not too big of a deal if you get a little bit of glue. You can also use your sponge if you want to use your sponge, and kind of dab your sponge into there and then dab the sponge onto this piece. That's also an option. But you do want to make sure that you get it on the ends, because you don't want those to catch something and then move. And then push it down. And then I'll do my L and my E, and then you're going to want to pull your template off right away to be sure that if any glue did get on the side of the template, that it's not going to glue the template in place on you. Just kind of dab it on those side letters and fit it in the hole. Okay, and there you have it. So everything's glued in. And in order to, I kind of lift up. Making sure that all your pieces stay down when you pull it up. And there we have it. So nice and even into the center of your piece. Let's see, I got a little bit of paint right here. There you go. And then you're going to glue your frame on the top. So you would just take your glue, add a little bit of glue around here, and then put it on, and then you're done. And like I said, here is the finished piece. You can paint it any color you want again, and that's pretty much all. You can, if you want to protect your piece, you can spray it with a clear matte spray. I would recommend, I like Krylon brand clear matte spray. That will help protect your project. If you want to spray it, you can. If you don't, then you don't have to. You can leave it as is. I don't know if I said that the frame, I did paint one coat of paint on the frame, and then again I took my piercing tool and I ran it down these cracks to get that look. Okay, so that's how you do that. Quick and simple. Pretty quick project to do. So if you have any questions, you can email me at info@paisleysandpolkadots.com, or you can find other projects or videos on the website under the tutorials or on our YouTube page. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.